This is Meghan Markle's sickest stunt yet. This weekend, she decided to invoke the memory of dead Princess Diana in a deliberate attempt to terrorize her long-suffering husband, Prince Harry.
Again, I have to be careful what I say, but
Harry just exploded, and this time there's no palace wall thick enough to contain it. Witnesses say the moment he saw Meghan's video, filmed just steps from the tunnel where
This is gross and grim and deranged on every level.
his mother died. Something inside him snapped. No calm statement, no carefully crafted silence, just rage. Because for Harry, that tunnel isn't.
She thinks that's a win, Brittany. No, we see you, Meghan. We see you, and now the world sees you.
Symbolism. It's the darkest night of his life, and yet there she was, lounging in the back of a luxury car. The heat propped up as they rolled.
This is her in the car videoing herself with her legs up as she went past the tunnel in which Diana Spencer was so tragically killed in Paris.
Past the site where Diana took her last breath. Hosted to social media with a smile, a filter. For millions, it was tone deaf. For Harry, it was
it's really quite sad.
Who does this? Who behaves like this?
unforgivable. He's been silent through years of criticism, but insiders say this was different. This time, he confronted her, and he didn't hold back. According to a source close to the couple,
She was the villain
How was she dangerous?
because of the need for her to rehabilitate her image.
Harry called the move cruel, attention-seeking, and a betrayal of everything Diana stood for. The outburst reportedly caught off camera after the Balenciaga show left their team stunned.
Meghan is using everything for publicity.
Just another appallingly tone-deaf action.
He accused her of turning tragedy into a prop, of using his mother's death as another headline to chase relevance. Those words cut through.
But I have to just say, anyone who has doubted me over the past decade about this evil woman now needs to eat some humble pie, because this video designed to mentally torture her husband.
The luxury air of Paris like a blade. That was only the beginning, because behind the closed doors of a 5-star suite, what started as a private argument erupted into something louder, a confrontation that even their inner circle couldn't contain. And now, insiders are asking.
And she did this all after teaming up with the dodgy child scandal fashion brand Balenciaga during a bizarre trip to Paris.
The same question we all are. Did Meghan cross the final line between ambition and desecration? Drop your thoughts below. Paris, flashbulbs, applause. It was supposed to be Meghan.
If I know that this is a place that my husband hates because it's where he lost his mom, I'm not going to go there.
Markle's triumphant return. A carefully choreographed comeback after months of silence. Front row at Fashion Week. Handpicked. By designers. Cameras locked on every angle. For her, the setting was perfect. Couture, celebrity, and control. For Harry, it was supposed to be harmless. Just another public appearance. Just another performance. The world saw a polished Meghan.
Especially when he's on the BBC saying that it's not safe enough for my family in the UK, but it's safe enough for Meghan to be alone in Paris, literally engaging with the paparazzi you say killed your mother.
Smiling, waving, perfectly lit by the Paris glow. Paparazzi framed her as radiant, redefined, reborn. Every step seemed intentional. Every glance rehearsed. It was the Meghan brand in full motion. The rebirth of relevance. Until the video. Just seconds of footage, a casual clip, posted online like any influencer moment. Her feet up, phone in hand, gliding past the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. The place where Diana's car...
Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Pull that video up.
crashed at night. Within hours, outrage exploded across social media. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Disrespectful, staged, unforgivable. For those who remembered Diana's final hours, it felt like desecration disguised as content. But what made it worse was the silence that followed. No apology, no clarification, not even a denial. Only that same unbothered smile at the next fashion event. But what truly shattered the illusion was Harry's reaction. For years, he defended Meghan through scandal after scandal. This time, he did not. He walked out of the event and, according to witnesses, refused to travel with her afterward. Inside sources claim the argument that followed wasn't about the tunnel. It was about intent. Harry accused her of using his mother's death as currency. She allegedly fired back, saying something that changed everything. Hours later, she appeared front row at Balenciaga's show, the very brand still shadowed by its child exploitation scandal. For a woman who built her image on protecting,
Well, how about having some thought towards your husband's feelings when you're in the same city his mom died in, running around, having a joyride in Paris near where she lost her life?
children, it was hypocrisy in high definition. When questioned, her only defense was that she was supporting a friend. Critics saw it differently. To them, it wasn't loyalty, it was selective morality. One insider put it bluntly. Every time her relevance fades, she reaches for something darker. The public thought they'd seen attention-seeking before, but what followed made every past controversy seem like rehearsal. Because this was not a misstep, it was a method. The cracks were only beginning to show. When the noise finally faded, something far more deliberate began to emerge. Every controversy, every headline, every outburst, they were not accidents. They formed a rhythm. From Netflix.
How are you protecting children when you were promoting a brand that was accused of inappropriate behavior towards them?
Deals to red carpet appearances. Every spark of outrage seemed to arrive just before a new announcement, a fresh feature, a photo op. Insiders dubbed it Athe Cycle Ashok, silence, spotlight. And at its center was always Meghan. Those close to the Sussex circle say Harry has started to recognize the pattern too. Hayes realized that every storm seems to serve one person more than the other. His pain becomes her message. His mother's memory becomes her aesthetic. His silence becomes her control. Behind the polished image, the strategy is clear. Turn every criticism into fuel, every backlash into buzz. Even her Balenciaga appearance was not random.
Meghan entered this world like it was a Hollywood set, assuming she could rewrite the script, center herself in every scene, and edit out anything that didn't fit her narrative.
Brand still triggers outrage, but outrage brings attention, and attention keeps her name alive. For Meghan, the formula works. For Harry, it corrodes. Friends say he is now trapped in a loop he cannot defend. Each time he protects her, he loses more of himself. Each time he speaks, he feeds the narrative she thrives on. This is no longer about a video or a fashion show. It's about control, emotional, public, psychological, a strategy wrapped in empathy and sold as empowerment. Maybe that is the cruelest twist, because what began as a love story between rebellion and royalty has frozen into something colder.
Samantha Markle, Meghan's sister, posted, "Is it true that my sister was doing selfies in the tunnel where Diana died? That's what I'm hearing." Now that would be a really sick example of being a disaster.
A business built on controversy, sustained by pain, and guarded by cameras. The night sky over Paris glowed gold, but the energy around them had turned glacial. For the first time, Meghan wasn't being photographed as a star, she was being studied as a case. Every glance, every blink toward Harry became evidence. Cameras captured it all, her smile fading for half a second as he passed her, without a word, his jaw tightening when she reached for his arm and he didn't take it. There was no shouting, only distance. And sometimes,
Stephanie Sidley, if driving towards Princess Diana's death scene is a message to Prince William, then Meghan Markle is the devil.
silence screams louder than fury. Online, the mood mirrored the tension. Videos slowed, dissected frame by frame. Experts broke down. Micro-expressions like forensic clues. A half smirk was arrogance. A blink was guilt. Every edit made her appear smaller, colder, further from the woman she once pretended to be. Then came the crowd footage. Harry walking out alone, flashbulbs detonating like gunfire. He didn't wait. He didn't smile. Just a man moving. Through the noise, haunted by a ghost the world refused to bury. Cut to Meghan days later, radiant at a gala, acting as if nothing had...
Did you see this moment right here? It was almost as cringe. She thinks something is funny. It clearly isn't. Turns to Marcus Anderson, her gay BFF who's behind all of this, wanting him to join in. He's like, no way. Just turn around. Behave. I've got this gig for you, you stupid woman. Just behave. And then she's furious.
Happened. But behind the calm, her eyes scanned the crowd, not for approval but control. That's us, the paradox. The more polished the image, the more fractured the truth beneath. Because behind every camera flash hides a shadow, and lately, that shadow wears Harry's face. No reconciliation, no closure. Just two people orbiting the same scandal, pretending it as still love. Days became headlines. Headlines became distance. The clip stopped trending, but the fracture stayed. Harry withdrew into quiet.
I was just checking Us Weekly.
Wow.
You know, Harry and Meghan's personal press release service. I want to give you some of the headlines from Us Weekly in the last few hours.
Okay.
Meghan Markle quietly attends Balenciaga's Paris Fashion Week show. Quietly.
Meghan leaned into visibility at charity events. Interviews filtered through friendly outlets. Her team framing the narrative as renewal. Even loyal advisors could not mask the break. No joint appearances, no rehearsed smiles. Insiders called Harry as silent strategic. Others called it survival. Meghan's camp pushed the opposite. A flood of leaks painting her as misunderstood and misjudged. The old celebrity playbook. Turn. Victimhood into visibility. Tabloids mirrored her, every reflection more curated than before. Meanwhile, Harry dined alone, quieter, heavier.
It was just a terrible look. She does not look good. It looks like something you would see at a grandma's, like, you know, if she's celebrating her, let's say, 60th wedding anniversary, that's what a grandma would wear.
I think when I was 30, if I thought about 50, I thought that is an awful long way away. And I don't really need to think about it. And then I blinked and I'm 50. That's crazy. And yet,
Not angry, just spent. Insiders described a man realizing that every apology he makes becomes her next headline. Then came whispers of a rebrand, a new project pitched to studio, about resilience, motherhood, misunderstood women. And just like that, the cycle restarted. Sympathy, spotlight, silence. Scandal didn't indict, evolved, because in their world, quiet is not surrender, Ita's staging. And sometimes, the calm after chaos is not Pisaida's preparation. Every royal tale begins with legacy, but this one refuses to end with it. For Harry, legacy was never gold or grandeur.
Finally, Meghan Markle turns up at Paris Fashion Week, fancying herself to be kind of budget Angelina Jolie.
Wow.
But without the talent or the tits or the teeth. I mean, I think she fancies herself to be a bit of a catwalk model, more like an aged pussy on the prowl, looking for its next...
Was ghosts. His mother-ass face on every front page, her tragedy replayed endlessly. Now that same legacy is the battleground between grief and spectacle. In private, he still speaks of Diana not as a symbol, but as a wound. Friends say he describes her as a woman who sought peace and never found it. Yet every time, Meghan invokes her name, wears her jewelry, or echoes her struggle, it reopens that wounded broadcast. Hashtagged, monetized. Those near the royals say admiration has turned to imitation. Itas not about honoring history, itas about rewriting it. And that's what destroys him, because the world still sees Diana's son, not the man he is trying to be. Each headline pulls him backward.
She's walking around Paris like she's the She's got her arms flowing. She's really feeling her oats. Woman, please go back to California and be with your children and go and find a career other than just being desperate for attention every single day.
Each scandal keeps him trapped in a story written before he could edit it. Meanwhile, Meghan keeps reshaping her own narrative, speaking of empowerment while standing on borrowed legacy. Ita's not rebellion anymore, ita's reinvention on loop. But each performance cuts deeper, not on her reputation, but on the history she keeps reclaiming. Tatas, the irony. The same legacy that built them might be the one that breaks them. Because when you build fame on borrowed pain, the echo always returns a louder. And this time, that echo sounds a lot like Diana. For years, the world saw a fairy tale, a prince escaping the palace, and a woman promising freedom. Now, all that remains is noise. 2.
Harry and Meghan will likely have their title stripped. I think they should have their title stripped. What is she doing for the monarchy? She's going to fashion shows with this horrible outfit, which looks like a bed sheet. Looks like she's wrapped in toilet paper.
Souls trapped beneath flashbulbs, unable to rewrite their tale. Harry sees loss. Meghan sees leverage. Between those visions, love vanished. The tunnel moment wasn't misjudgment, it was a mirror. Tragedy became optics. Grief became content. It revealed who they've become, One chasing peace, the other chasing the lens that keeps the storm alive. Behind every photo, every whisper, Harry sees the one thing he cannot protect anymore. His mother is memory turned into currency within the empire of publicity. Maybe the world does not need another photo or apology. Maybe it just needs honesty rarer than fame, and far more dangerous to lose.